Hi, this is Prince Oladipo. This from Yhwh through our research from Information Dissemination Center. I welcome you to the second day of the week, and I pray that the blessing of Yhwh be upon you and your household in the name of Yhwh. This we're about to see is concerning what Yhwh has been opening, marital and the understanding he has been kind of releasing on, which is concerning his mighty power upon the Yhwh, even in West Africa. That is, he never forsake his people, even when they came to West Africa. When they left, when in Jerusalem, in the age of Zion, he was with them. He was even the one that brought the enemy to destroy them because of their disobedience. So he was with them. So the presence of Yhwh is not only when it is sweet, even when it is wrong, when things are going as if it's negative, his presence is more strong because he punishes his people when they disobey him. When Nebuchadnezzar is the one that brought Nebuchadnezzar to conquer Israel and exalted him, and when he exalted himself too much, the presence of Yhwh was there to punish him and was really heavy upon him. So what about Yhwh in West Africa? They were destroyed by Babylon. They came back. Then Yhwh brought Romans to scatter them again because they will not abide and they will not follow his leading and his ways, especially that led to the killing of Yhwh. And when they were scattered from there, they regathered the group again at Yemen as the Hebrew kingdom, which was also scattered, and later they regrouped. They came, Dunoas and his entourage. They came to West Africa, and when they came to West Africa, immediately Dunoas, which is called, which is actually Duinoa, because they regrouped, and all the other people that were taken captives, Zua, Al-Yemen, and all those, they came together. They all gathered at West Africa. They dominated that land then. And but one thing is that Yhwh is always monitoring his people. Now, they thinking that since they are now in that place far away from Middle East, so there's this tendency. They try to see that this God is God of Zion. So since he's far away in Zion, so they can do anything that they want to do. They want to be lawless. They want to worship idols. They want to they want to do a lot of things that are ungodly. Even now in Ezekiel and with Jeremiah, that even when Babylon has just has conquered Jerusalem, the remnants that were left, they still say, no, we will worship idol, to show these people how hard-hearted our ancestors are. Don't go to Egypt. We will go. That is where so even there. So it is. So now that they are now in West Africa, they think they are far away. Even Jeremiah told them that, well, you think you in Egypt you will be saved. All right, Yhwh is going to bring the Babylon on Egypt and destroy this place where you think this stone, even put a stone, that this place, this is where Nebuchadnezzar is coming to come and sit down. So it shows that they think that when they run away, they are free from him. But Yhwh is actually following them to make sure it is either they yield to him or they will suffer. So in West Africa, so the same thing happened. So when they become very strong in West Africa, but they were becoming strong and also yielding and tending to idolatry and worship, they start worshiping the dead. There was a time in Jerusalem that Yhwh told them that they should remove the corpse, the graves of the king, away from the temple area, because they were already celebrating and remembering, and then turning all those remembrance of the ancient ones, the dead ones like David and everything. They are already turning to idolatry. So they are making Yhwh jealous. So it showed it started then. So they continued, and Yhwh was angry. So then division came out among them. then the Arabs took advantage of that. So the Arabs, the Islamists, and then Shango, Zhwh of Yemen, Shango, Shanghai, Yhwh of Koso. Look, the Yoruba call Shango Lua Koso. So he took advantage of that. He rebelled, and with the help of the Islamists, he scattered the old kingdom. So the old kingdom joined powerful kingdom. So it will have taken the Arabs maybe eternity to actually conquer them, to be able to conquer them. So, and since Òyọhá knows these people, I've established you again here, but this your establishment, you are not even honoring me. So he wants to destroy them. So he made sure that they divided. There was division amidst them, and then one of them invited the Arabs, the Islamists. Then they were scattered, and the whole thing went down. They lost everything. And the Shanghai, Yhwh of Koso himself, that also the descendant of Yhwh Yemen, that brought the Islamists in. So to show that the same tendency is also in them. When he too died, his children want to they want to do the same thing. They want to worshiping him. They want to kind of make him like a god, a deity out of him. So the Islamists rebelled and they removed him and his household from the kingdom that they were ruling together. So you can see that Òyọhá just used him to scatter the kingdom, and later discarded him, because they don't want Òyọhá. All they want is they want to establish themselves and worship, and that's what the devil wants. So the devil want to own Israel, want to own our ancestor, but Òyọhá has refused to allow him. So that was the way everything scattered up, and that continued until the Islamists, under the Fulani. So under the scattered region, they still started later when one of the restoration that was a kind of middle restoration that came up when Oromiyan came, and they started gathering the whole kingdom, kind of gathered the kingdom, the Ibini, the Nupe, kind of trying to put them together, try to restore the species that remains after the attack of the Shangazo Lua Koso, which Yoruba call Shango Lua Koso. So he gathered all the kingdoms, the Shekiri and everything, gathered them together, and then he reunited them. So at least kind of resetting back everything and try to introduce them into their real identity. But immediately that man too immediately departed, everything went haywire again. So it shows that it is actually inborn in these people that, even Moses said that you people are very strong-willed, strong-willed people. Even though while I'm here, before I died, you are already worshiping idol. So it is that evil tendency and that stubborn tendency. The devil knows that we as descendants of Abraham, we carry the blessing. We are supposed to be a blessing to the whole humanity, to the whole of humanity. A blessing from Òyọhá to reflect, to bring the glory of Òyọhá upon all humanity. So that is why Òyọhá is the devil, Onikoishe, and the devil is actually targeting our ancestor and our identity, so that instead of we bringing the glory of Òyọhá upon the earth and upon humanity, so he wants us to disconnect us from him, so always pushing so that we be disconnected from Òyọhá, so that we will not be able to bring the glory of Òyọhá upon the earth, but rather we want to connect us to dead men and stupidity and all those idolatry which are useless and nothing. So, and after the that of Oromiyan again, which is gather the kingdom, but they fell back into idolatry, and then the Òyọhá raised up the Fulani jihadists. So the Fulani jihadists, so they too started, and they started from the Okioya, which is the northern part of Nigeria now. So they started. So you can see that after, when there's a recovery, and after the recovery, they are always tending back to the idolatry tendency. So Òyọhá will raise another thing. So Òyọhá lifted up the Fulani jihadists, and they started conquered all those Katsina. Katsina is actually an ancient Hebrew kingdom. So the descendant of the original descent of Kasina, Kano, which are the Kana people, are actually Hebrew. They are descendants of ancient Hebrew, descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And you can see some major parts of the north. You see people bearing Inoa, which is the name of Odu Inoa, which is Dunoas. So in the northern part of Nigeria, so all of them speaking Hausas now. So all those people too, they are descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, even Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel. But when all these, when the idolatry took over, and Òyọhá allows the Fulani to conquer all those lands away from the hand of his people. So those parts, they became subservient to the Fulani jihadists, and they were coming down. Actually, they are not ready to stop. But Òyọhá, knowing well, since he has an agenda, and his agenda is to restore his people. But the one thing is, the Islamists and the Islamic agenda is different from the agenda of Òyọhá. The Islam, all they want to do is conquer the people and continue to rule over them. But the agenda of Òyọhá for the Hebrew, for the house of Jacob, house of Israel, is that he want to punish them, then so that they can come back to him, so that he can be their God, not that somebody should be ruling over them. He want to rule his people, and he want to restore them to their former identity, to their former Israel, so that they can build the temple and restore the worship of Òyọhá. So now, see, so this is the agenda of Òyọhá, but Òyọhá definitely know that the jihadists and the Fulani jihadists, their intention too is not according to Òyọhá. That, for example, it's just what happened during Babylon. When Òyọhá want to destroy his people, he brought Babylon, and when he want to restore them, he allowed the Persians, who he has anointed to restore his people, to give them to conquer Babylon. So that is just the way it happens. So when Òyọhá says that yes, these Fulani people, they want to continue. So Òyọhá strengthened the remnant of his people, that they were able to resist the Fulani expansion agenda very well, until he handed them all over to the British Empire. But now, because one agenda is he want to punish his people, but his thought is not for them to continue to be slave forever. Now, for example, now you can see this, that now his people, we are free from the rule of British. Now we've gained freedom. We are now on our own. So the agenda is that the agenda for you is that his own people will be on their own, and they restore them and then bring them back to their land. So now, but you can see that all the nations that are being conquered by Islam since the beginning of Islam, have you heard any nation that has been freed, that has been restored from Islam, except if not by war? Islam has taken over many nations, many countries, and they have never given any of them freedom, independent. So no nation has been given independence from Islam. They conquer them their own. They want to conquer and rule for life. So you see why Òyọhá will not allow a Fulani to totally conquer his people, because he knows the agenda. There is evil in their heart. Their intention is not according to his intention. They just want to rule and dominate and be. They are just using the name of the religion Islam to enthrone themselves over his people. So not that they are not really seeking that. When these people, when they are now started worshiping God, we will now leave them to begin to rule themselves. And now that you are now worshiping God, the Creator of the heaven and the earth, we will now leave you. You can now rule yourself. Now that is what Òyọhá was sent us, so that you can come back to Him and begin to worship Him. So that's why. So now that we have done that, you can now continue to rule yourself and worshiping the Creator. But that is not their agenda. Their agenda is they want to rule, they want to dominate, and they want to set up their family themselves and enslave all those people. Of course, Òyọhá allows it because in those places, because that he actually wants it to happen. But now, when it comes to the future plan of restoration, which is also in his agenda, so he has to bring in those who will be able to put an end, to bring an independence. And you can see the slave trade, it was actually the Fulani, and then is the ancient Hebrew people, the Yoruba, all the rest of them, all these Hebrews, the blacks, all of them participated in slave trade. They're not as selling people to the as slaves to the white men. And it was until it was actually this slavery, while they are fighting themselves, taking each other as slave and selling. So it is actually these that actually push, and some of those people that were taken as slaves, that actually spoiled the whites, the British Empire, to come and even take over Nigeria, take over Lagos at first, so that they can stop the trade. And later they still find out that they are still trying to maneuver and get other places to sell the street, so they have to take over the whole nation. It was also discovered that a king in Kano, a sultan in Kano, actually shot a white man because the white man asked him, an envoy of the queen, because the envoy asked him to stop slave trade, selling people as slaves. So you can see that so it is this agenda for Yhwh, and until the queen now took over, the British now took over everything, took over the whole land. So they took over the whole West Africa and the whole land, and they are the one that actually put an end to slave trade. So and one other thing that was achieved was introduction of which is a Christian faith. That the Christian faith that they rejected Yhwh as a son of God, as a lamb of God, as a provision of God for salvation. They killed him, they rejected him, and through that Jerusalem was destroyed. Even at Yemen, they waged war against Christians, they were destroyed. And I even saw a presentation recently whereby that the same people that Odunoa fought against in Yemen, that before the kingdom was destroyed, are the same people that Prophet Muhammad too, he called those Christians and said they should be paying him, and that they should even swear before God and curse themselves that whoever is teaching lies will die. And actually those people said no, they were not, that the teachings of Yhwh and Yhwh did not permit them to curse. Well, Muhammad did not live up to a year after that particular day that he called for that curse to be made. So that is and those people are Christian people. So now that same Christian teaching that they were rebelled against, and they ate Yhwh and his teaching, but they easily go for idolatry. They like to worship the dead. They like to do all those things. But through this the British, now Christian faith was actually introduced. And it is actually through that same Christian faith that the true identity of who they are and who we are is now being restored back onto us. So this is the agenda. So this is a walk. This is the handwork. This is a maneuver of Yhwh. Actually, this is the same thing he walked with them while they were in Jerusalem, Zion. That's where he walked. When they stand with him, when they stand in his plan, he established them. But when they start erring, he punishes them with his stripes and the rod of men, and then he restored them back unto himself. So all in West Africa, what we see also over that has happened to us and our ancestors is actually the hand of Yhwh trying to trim us from idolatry and he stayed in control. He managed everything so well to achieve his plan. So any interface or any pathway that will not fulfill his plan, he does not allow it to prosper. That's why the Fulani and the agenda could not really prosper in West Africa and in Nigeria. Even though still see some of them are still planning something, but they still always find themselves being destroyed and then their plan coming to naught. That's why you see when the king of Libya, that former president of Libya, when he said that Nigeria should be divided, you see what happened. His country was scattered and he himself was killed, because there's an agenda upon Nigeria, because it's a land that is populated by the ancient Hebrew, by the 12 tribe of Israel. So Yhwh is in charge of that land. So anybody that is bringing any agenda that is contrary to him, to his plan, he deals with them, he punishes them immediately. But anyone who is bringing an agenda that is according to his plan, they are the one that used to prosper. So that you know is prosper. So this is so far is what Yhwh has been doing, and then the introduction of this understanding of the Torah now, which is being resurrected, and the ancient Hebrew language is actually one of the plans that is to restore his people and to bring them back, to restore their identity, to bring them back to the worship of Yhwh, so that they will be a blessing to the whole heaven and the earth. And also in the prophecies of what will happen in the end of the earth, there is to be a nation of Israel, the nation of Yhwh. His people are to be gathered in a place where they will be protected by Yhwh, who will be coming to stay with them, and the city of the saints, and which the enemy will still try to attack, but it will be to no avail. So far, Yhwh has been in charge of what is happening in West Africa over his people in West Africa. He has never left them, but though they've forsaken him, but he has never departed from them. He's walking upon them, trimming them, beating them, striking them with the rod and the stripes of men, in order to restore them to himself. And may his name be praised forever and ever. So this is the understanding that Yhwh has brought to me and laid upon my mind to be able to share it, that we may know that all these things, all this slavery and all this we selling ourselves, is ancient Hebrew selling themselves, the tribes himself, the 12 tribes fighting themselves in West Africa, enslaving themselves and selling themselves. You see, even in the same tribe, even some of them, the same family, just because they want to steal the property of the next family, they will attack them, sell them, and so that they will own the land of their fellow relatives. So these are the wickedness, the evil. But of course, whenever we depart from Yhwh, he allows us to destroy ourselves. So even when the enemy does not have what it takes to destroy us, because it is the agenda of Yhwh that without him we don't have prosperity. So we destroy each other, and then we allow the enemy to prevail. So this is Yhwh working, and now Yhwh is restoring us through this message, through restoration of the Torah, and then bringing the understanding of this faith, of this understanding of our identity to everyone. So may his name be praised. So let everyone who has accepted this truth and who has received it and who has accepted it, whom Yhwh has enlightened into this knowledge, be always open, or always be in the state of praising Yhwh in the morning, in the night, every now and then, giving him praise for what he has done, for restoring us, for not destroying us completely, for not handing us over to those who will destroy us forever, but for managing us so that we can come and still be able to know who we are, and then to restore us back to the glory and to the covenant of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So blessed be his name forever. Amen. Amen.